Alright, welcome back once more to Salt and Sanctuary. I am Max, and here we are with our brave knight and our trinket-selling friend where we left off. Did some exploring. We're told that we needed to find the castle. We came to the castle and found that the way forward was closed. It was blocked off. We could not progress. So, we were then told that, hey, there was a village down below where we were originally, the Festering Banquet. So, damn you. Trying to talk here. But, so we came, and now we came down, and we found our friend over here. We did end up finding this little side path that we didn't explore. Let's see what fun goodies are down here. We get the Lightning Bolt spell and another torch. Torches are always useful, and the Lightning Bolt spell is definitely. And now in here, we were definitely going to have some fun. It is very dark, and we are going to encounter a very tough enemy, which I'm going to... Let's put on our rogue stuff, get that fast roll, because this guy we're going to need it for. And I switched to the mace because he's very big, and he's very tough. As you can see, even with the mace, I'm doing 5 damage. You can kind of dodge around him. Oh no! Maybe. Cocky. Drink some drink. And this is actually an enemy you will fight later on in the game quite often. It's kind of like a cross between Pyramid Head and a giant crab. That sword it uses is actually kind of a little bit of a spoiler ahead, and you can actually get that sword for yourself. And that's actually the weapon I used my first time through the game. It is a two-handed sword, and it is actually really powerful. Has pretty good scaling with strength, and so it's actually rather nice and worth it. As you can see, this is definitely a tough fight. He definitely takes a lot of hits, does a lot, but he is beatable. Gives you a good bit of money and salt. And what was he defending back here in this cave? Stained Page and a Stone Mage. Very useful item, the Stone Mage, especially if you're going for the caster route. Lets you learn new spells and the like. Again, not a... I forgot to jump there. Silly me. But not really something I'm going to go into very much on this character. I think I'm going to stick more with the Sword and Board Classic, which, for those of you who don't know, Sword and Board is an older... At least I learned it in playing D&D, and it refers to a fighter who primarily uses a one-handed weapon, generally a sword, and a shield. Sword and board. A little bit of a lesson there. And we have these fun little blade wraiths, as they're called, in the darkness here. Not too tough. About the biggest problem with them is they're just kind of hidden, so it makes them a little harder. You can get some platforming, some more falling. More bats. Oh no! Came up from the thing! And as you can see, bats will actually poison you. As you can see at the top, that is actually a poison identifier. If that fills up, you are poisoned. There are some enemies later that really will do that to you. Alright, and we found their shortcut, which brings us back out to the Shimmering Shore. We found the Stone Guide and the Calling Horn. Now, those are very important items. So we're going to come back here and we're going to do a bit of stuff with the Sanctuary right now, because I think that's a good time to really go into all this. So let's rest. Now you see we got our Hardy roll back instead of the Water of Blessing. So now what we can do, we can come here and we can go to the Make Offering. And as you see, all of the stone items we found throughout the game so far, we can now bring here. So you have the Stone Merchant. A small stone figure in the form of a wealthy market merchant. Offer the stone merchant to an altar to allow merchants to do business in your sanctuary, and grants gold drop bonus to the sanctuary region. So now that's another interesting thing, is any one of these, not only do they give you a benefit of an NPC that will help you, so this will give you a merchant you can sell to and buy some small items, weapons, armor, and like bows, torches, stuff like that, good stuff you can get. It actually gives you a bonus of additional gold in the area. Stone cleric, a small stone figure in the form of a wise cleric, grants prayer potency. So if we actually went the prayer, so mend, spirited mend, this would actually make anything within the Shivering Shore area actually have greater potency with the prayer. And the blacksmith, a small stone figure in the form of a bearded blacksmith. Offer it to allow a blacksmith, and it grants an attack bonus. So having a blacksmith in an area is very good because it gives you just a straight up attack bonus. The stone sellsword grants a shield block bonus, which is actually pretty good for this character. Having additional block on shields is really great. And what this would do is this would allow another person to join your world and play. Sadly, there is no online co-op yet, as far as I know. The only way to play is local co-op, so somebody would actually have to join me in order to play. Maybe I'll work something out with that, I'm not sure. Depends on how things go. For now, I'm not going to be using that too much, maybe just other to get that shield block bonus here and there. And this is probably one of the most important ones you will find, is the guide. A small stone figure in the form of an adventurous guide grants item find bonus to the sanctuary region. That right there in itself makes it beautiful, simply because it ups the chance of finding items, which is just amazing. So finding items is just great, so some of those rare drops have a chance. However, the other advantage to the guide is the guide will actually allow you to visit any other sanctuary you've been to, and that calling horn that we just found lets you travel to any sanctuary that you have a guide in. So unlike the Bell of Return, which just takes you straight back to your sanctuary, this one actually will take you to anyone, or as long as the calling horn will actually take you to any that has a guide. And then you have your stone mage, a small stone figure in the form of a wise mage, grants magic potency. So instead of prayers, if you chose magic like the lightning bolt, this would actually give you more potency of magic in the area. And again, not something I'm really going to use. And you can have up to 4 of these in any sanctuary. So I think I kind of know what I want in here, so I think I'm going to get the merchant. And as you watch, see, there comes our little merchant. I definitely want a blacksmith. We definitely want to get him in here. And we definitely want a guide. I think we'll just do the sellsword. Just get the sellsword in here. Get that shield block. And see, now our sanctuary looks a little bit more lively. We have some people here. We have our sellsword, which you can actually, you can talk to him. It's dangerous out there. Maybe you shouldn't go alone. And you can hire, and if you did, your second person could come in. He actually sells some stuff. What does he sell? Egg of Wrath, a common egg blessed for ceremony use. No one knows quite when or how it started, but the Egg of Wrath has played a role in nearly the vast majority of armed conflicts for centuries. Before significant combat, a commander would crush an Egg of Wrath in a ritual. The rite is meant to inspire troops and sow fear in enemies. Crush an egg to initiate PvP with your companion. So this would be how you would start PvP. Be careful. And we have our merchant. Buying or selling? Just here to talk. Let's talk a little bit. I ended up here when a merchant ship I was wrecked on wrecked somewhere in the Emerald Sea. So it's kind of cool that not only these guys are actually other people who've walked up or washed up to shore here, and sells so your red shards, fire pot, which is just kind of like a cocktail Molotov, pitchfire adds flame to your weapon, shockstone adds shock. Your arrows, your bolts for crossbows. Arrows are for bolts, or arrows are for bows. Crossbows are bolts are for crossbows. Oh, jeez. And then you have shots, which will be for pistols, because you actually have all 3. And you can buy torch. You can actually just straight up buy pouches of salt for a little bit of stuff. Ooh. And Dragon's Tooth, a pointed metal throwing blade. It's handled wrapped in pitchfire and flash powder, so I'm assuming that means it's a fire-based throwing. Then you have an antidote to cure poison and a bell of return. You know, basically takes you back. And you can actually come in here and sell any item you have if you don't really want to just sit and hold on to it. Come back soon. And then we have our very important blacksmith. Need some smithing. I don't remember getting to this island. What I do know is smithing, and that's what I'll do. So, fun little thing with him is he doesn't actually remember coming here. He's just, you know, he's here. He's gonna smith. He doesn't care. I am a Dorian, born and raised in Markdor, that is. Never set foot outside the city, yet here I am. Last thing I remember, an alehouse, a couple of rounds, some songs, some cheer. Must have been kidnapped. Must have been out a long time. But see, I thought about it. Whether it's the kidnappers wanted me for, they're not getting it now. Can't sell me to slavers. Can't ransom me for coin. Not if I'm shipwrecked on this island. If they wanted me dead, they'd have done it outright, so they didn't throw me overboard. Nope. There must have been a shipwreck. And no one's come after me, so they must have died in the wreck. So I conclude, men died trying to best me, and yet here I stand. I sure survived something else alright. Now let me do what I do. And again, so fun little character, the blacksmith. Doesn't know how he got here, but knows he survived and is a survivor, and he's gonna do the thing he does best. Straight up smithing. And now you can buy some basic weapons for him, from him, so you know, the axe, the sword you actually have, I don't know, regular sword, crossbow, could buy a heater shield on a targe, and he actually sells the cotton trousers. Biggest thing here is the upgrades. You can actually upgrade every one of your weapons. This little mark here denotes anything you are currently equipping. So we have the spada and the flaying mace. So I kind of like this sword right now. It's not too much to upgrade, and we have the ability for it till we find something a little better. Let's make this a +1. That'll definitely help out in the coming areas. It becomes a Varganian Spatha 1. And, you know, got a little bonus to attack. And as you see, each time it'll take a little bit of salt and a couple locks of hair for this level. I think it's 1 to 2 is locks of hair, and then 2 to 3 is a different material that you find later. And again, you can even go up to shields and upgrade them. Alright, we're done with the smith for now. Keep your wits about you out there. Pretty cool character, I think. And then last week we come to the guide. Want to go somewhere? I traveled all over the place. If you've heard of it, I can get you there. He kind of basically says that. He doesn't have kind of a cool story like the blacksmith, but travel, like I said, he can take you to any one you've actually already been to. So if we needed to go back to Bandit's Pass, we could just straight up go to Bandit's Pass. And kind of a cool thing, it actually tells you how many times you visited each of these sanctuaries over the course of the game. And I'm sure by the end of this we're going to have some of these up in the double digits at least. He does have a shop, and all he really sells is the calling horn, a curved war horn. Sound it to travel to any sanctuary with a guide in it. So again, a very useful item that lets you travel to anywhere you already have a guide in, which right now the only one we have is the Shivering Shore. Alright, well, I think that's gonna about do it for this episode. Kinda got some setup, got us a nice little area here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and level up. When you see Max, he'll be a little bit stronger, a little bit tougher, maybe a little bit faster too. Alright, this has been Max, and it's been a pleasure as always. Look forward to next time.